Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Ira, and today we are diving into a fascinating question: Bali or Europe, which place is better for living? Interesting, two totally different places that seem almost impossible to compare, but they both have their own perks and experiences to offer. Bali is all about that laid-back vibe with its beautiful beaches, lush landscapes, and friendly locals. Then there's Europe, which is like a treasure chest of cultures, languages, and history. Even though they're so different, both Bali and Europe have something special to offer. As I looked into both options, I found myself feeling pretty torn. I mean, Europe is all about that vibrant cultural scene, while Bali offers this chill, affordable lifestyle that's just so hard to resist. I thought I had it all figured out, but now I'm like, I don't know, I'm just not that sure. So I decided to do some research to get a clearer picture of what each option has to offer. I wanted to weigh the pros and cons and really understand what I'd be getting myself into. And I hope this video will help you decide which place might be your perfect home away from home. First things first, I don't want to waste your time. Time is so precious. That's why let's start by breaking down the cost of living in both locations. Is Bali really as affordable as it seems? And how does it compare to the expenses of living in Europe? Let's find out. Living in Bali can be very economical. Monthly expenses typically range from 900 to 1900 US bucks depending on your lifestyle choices. Accommodations can be found for as low as $15 to $70 per night for private villas, making it an attractive option for those looking to save money while enjoying a comfortable lifestyle. Bali offers a wide range of accommodations, from luxury villas to budget-friendly options. Many places are fully furnished and do not require long-term leases, allowing for flexibility. Plus, when it comes to the cost of living in Bali, it's important to note that bargaining is widely accepted and encouraged. It's Asia. For example, when renting accommodations, it's common to bargain with the owner or property manager to get a better deal, especially if you're staying for an extended period. Remember, when bargaining in Bali, it's important to do so respectfully and with a smile. The Balinese people appreciate a friendly and light-hearted approach to negotiations. In comparison, living in many European cities tends to be more expensive. For example, private rooms and hostels can start around $50 per night, and overall monthly costs can significantly exceed those in Bali, especially in popular cities. And if we talk about bargaining culture, then I would say that in many European cities there's a strong emphasis on transparency and fairness in pricing, which can make bargaining feel out of place. Bali is known for its delicious and affordable local cuisine, with meals at small warungs starting at around $1 or $2 US. Can you imagine? Although eating at Western-style restaurants and cafes can be more expensive. In Europe, food prices can vary significantly by country. Overall, dining out in Europe can be more expensive than in Bali, with average costs for meals in expensive restaurants ranging from 10 to 20 euros. That is 11 to 22 US dollars depending on the country. Mid-range dining experiences such as three-course meals for two generally fall between 50 and 80 euros. That is 55 to 88 US dollars. Transportation. Bali offers various transportation options, including ride-hail apps, car rentals, and hiring a driver with a car. Prices can vary depending on the mode of transportation, distance, time of day, and bargaining skills. Motorbike rentals will cost approximately 50 to 70 US dollars per month, with a full tank of fuel costing around $3 US. By negotiating with the rental company or driver, you may be able to get a better rate. And for example, renting a bike in Spain is generally affordable, with daily rates ranging from 8 to 30 euros, depending on the bike type and location. Weekly rentals provide better value, typically costing between 50 and 150 euros. For longer stays, consider options options that offer additional services which can enhance your cycling experience while exploring the beautiful landscapes and cities of Europe. Entertainment and sport. A movie ticket in Bali typically costs around 40 to 80,000 rupiah, which is 2 to 6 US dollars. Prices may vary slightly depending on the theater and location, but are generally quite affordable compared to Europe. Fitness. Gym memberships in Bali can range from 20 US dollars to 200 US dollars per month, depending on the facilities and location. Some gyms offer short-term options like day passes or weekly memberships starting around 9 or 10 US dollars. Attractions. Entry fees for popular tourist attractions in Bali can vary widely. For example, Tanakh Lord Temple costs 60,000 rupiah, Ubud Monkey Forest 80,000 rupiah. Prices are often between 10,000 to 100,000 rupiah, which is 67 cents to 7 US dollars, depending on the site and its popularity. Some major attractions may be more expensive. Europe. A ticket for a movie, for example in Spain, typically costs around 8 to 11 US dollars. And for example, in Germany, it may be slightly less, around 7 to 9 US dollars, sorry. Fitness. Gym memberships in Europe can range from 30 to 60 euro, which is 33 to 60 US dollars per month, depending on the facilities and location. Attractions. For example, entry fees for popular tourist attractions can vary, with prices often between 10 to 25 euros, which is 11 to 27 US dollars, depending on the site and its popularity. Now let's talk about my main concerns in Bali. Hygiene. Bali, while a beautiful and culturally rich island, does face some challenges when it comes to hygiene and sanitation. Here are a few key points to consider. Tap water concerns. The tap water in Bali is generally not safe for drinking or brushing teeth due to potential bacterial contamination. Bottled water is the safest option. Food safety risks. Certain foods carry a higher risk of causing Bali belly travelers diarrhea, such as raw fruits and vegetables, undercooked meat, seafood, and food from street vendors. Eating at reputable restaurants with a high customer turnover is recommended. Or cook at home. It's the best option. My main concerns in Europe, the streets. So while I totally appreciated a lot of things about my time in Spain, there were definitely a few elements that weren't so great. Like, I noticed that some streets had this not so pleasant smell, which seemed to get worse because of pets, you know. And honestly, the sight of homelessness in certain areas, especially in the downtown regions of some of big cities, was a bit unsettling for me. It just kind of made me feel uneasy at times. Progressive Europe. So during my time living in Madrid, I really got to dive into this vibrant culture that totally celebrates diversity, including a strong LGBTQ community. But you know, when I think back on my experiences in Western cities, I noticed a bit of different vibe. I mean, a lot of cities in West are super progressive and really supportive of LGBTQ rights, which is awesome. But sometimes I felt like the visibility and activism of the community could be a little overwhelming. And it's important to recognize that all this passionate advocacy comes from a place of love and a real desire for equality. But for someone like me, who kind of appreciates a more chill approach to community engagement, it could feel a bit intense at times. I just want to say that this isn't a dig at the community itself or anything. It's more of a personal observation about how different levels of expression and activism can feel. Every community has its own rhythm, and what totally works for one person might not really resonate with another. Now, living in a place like Bali, where the LGBTQ scene is more low-key, might actually offer a different kind of comfort and acceptance. It's super interesting how cultural contexts shape our experiences and perceptions of community, right? Europe is overrated. I just really didn't understand why the price for the place is so high in Madrid. Seriously, it's like Europe is overrated now and people are starting to lean more towards Asia for a better deal. I mean, who knows? Maybe Europe will make up and realize they need to step up their game. Come on, right? I get it. Europe has its charm with all the history and culture, but when you look at the cost of living, it just feels a bit of a whack. You can find amazing experiences in Asia for a fraction of price. Plus, the vibe in places like Bali is just laid back and affordable, and it's hard to ignore. And honestly, it's not just about the money, it's also about the overall experience. I mean, who wants to pay top dollar to deal with overcrowded tourist traps and overpriced food? So yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to see that there are other options out there that offer just as much, if not more, for a better price. Maybe it's time for Europe to rethink its approach and make things a bit more appealing. After all, travel should be about enjoying new experiences, not breaking the bank. So, what's the verdict? After thinking it over a lot, I gotta say my personal choice is definitely Bali. But at the same time, this is super personal. It really comes down to what resonates with you individually. I mean, everyone has their own vibe and what feels right for them. Some people might totally thrive in the hustle and bustle of Europe, soaking up all that rich culture and history. But for me, Bali just feels like a place where I can really relax and enjoy life. And honestly, it's kind of cool to see how different places can speak to us in different ways. Bali has this whole vibe that's all about balance and peace, which is something I really appreciate. Plus, the cost of living is way more affordable, which is a nice bonus, right? So yeah, it's all about finding what clicks for you. Whether it's the lively streets of Europe or the serene beaches of Bali, just go with what feels right in your heart. You know, I think it's a good idea to try living in both places for a bit. That way you can really get a feel for each one, and I bet the understanding will just come naturally. It's all about experiencing the vibe firsthand. Plus, you never know what you might discover about yourself along the way. That's it for now. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more travel adventures and insights. Until next time, happy travels.